Hi, it's me again. A brighter cloud. Just call me Chloe. Just call me Chloe. You need to stop looking up there and look down here. The myths and facts of mental illness and mental health. So the first one I want to talk about is mentally ill versus mentally healthy. Mental health is what everyone has. Like, everyone has mental health. It's like a continuum. Not everyone is 100% mentally well. Obviously, there's some people out there that are 100% mentally well, and high five to you. I think that people get confused with mental health and mental illness. Mental health, everyone has. You have to take care of it like your normal health. Mental health, mental illness. You have mental health. Everyone has mental health. Not everyone has mental illness, but it doesn't mean that a mentally healthy person can't get mental illness. Okay? Okay. Mental illness is a sign of weakness. Mental health problems are not a sign of weakness, just like a broken leg isn't. Just because you got a broken leg, it doesn't mean you're weak. Not everyone recovers from a broken leg. Like, you might have like a messed up leg for the rest of your life, but you're gonna try to recover from it and try to live a normal life with it. Like, it doesn't mean that you're weak, and many people gain strength from the experience. Like, you can go through mental health and come out the other side a much stronger person, but it doesn't mean that you were weak in the beginning. And I think it's really important that we've got that hashtag sick not weak, because it sends a message out there to people that may not be mentally ill that we aren't weak, we're just ill, we're not well, and eventually we are gonna get better. It's how it can sometimes stigmatise mental illness and saying, like, we are not strong because we have anxiety, depression, or some other mental illness. That doesn't make us weak. Someone who is mentally ill can still be mentally strong. You can't prevent mental health problems. Okay. So, you definitely can't prevent all mental health problems, like genetics and things that cause trauma. Excuse me. Things that cause trauma, you can't change those things. But we can all look after our mental health. So, like, sorry, it's really good hot chocolate. We can prevent causing ourselves more mental illness. I'm not saying it's easy, but healthy habits like eating, sleeping. I know people with insomnia and stuff, they can't help it. But a good sleep routine is proven. It helps with your mental health. Having a good diet and exercise and things like exercise is really good for your mental health. Just because it does kind of release those endorphins and make you feel a little bit better about yourself. You know, I know it's easier said than done, but when you get up in the morning, I think everyone aims to have a good day. Like, I don't always want to do the things that can prevent further mental health issues, but I try, because I don't want to increase my depression or increase my anxiety. So saying that you can't prevent mental health problems isn't fair, because you can. People find their vice and they use it to prevent their mental health problems from progressing and getting worse. So you can't say that you can't prevent it. Like I said at the start, genetics and, you know, trauma that you go through in your life and things like that, that can't be prevented. That's what I'm saying. So if you get a mental illness from those things, that is unpreventable. Like, don't get me wrong. This one is annoying. So, people with mental illness are violent. Pow, 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 pow. Really? Really? There's like common misconceptions around mental health problems. They're fed by stereotypes by like the media associated with violence, criminal acts, and like dangerous things. Truth is that most people who are mentally ill are not violent. They're more likely to be a victim of violence because we are more vulnerable, and we are more likely to harm ourselves. Oops. We are more likely to harm ourselves than others. Like, what the fuck? It pisses me off. Like, you see stuff on the news and in the papers, and it's like a knife crime or a beating, and there will always be people commenting saying, "Oh, he or she was mentally ill." But just because people are violent, it does not mean that they're mentally ill. Like, And to have the assumption that all people who are mentally ill are violent, it's just ignorant and completely lack of knowledge of mental illness. And in my opinion, you should go and read a book. You can't recover from a mental illness. Right. I want to explain myself well. So what is often kind of like a misunderstanding about mental health problems is that they completely define a person. And we always say, like, don't let your mental illness define you. I always say mental health or mental illness. It doesn't define you as a person. Or our potential in life. It doesn't mean that we can't go out and have a job or get married or have children or anything like that. Like, recovery is possible with all of the right support, medications, DBT, CBD, different types of therapy and things. You know, obviously not all mental illnesses are curable, that, you know, they don't just go away overnight. Like, people will try to get the help that they need, and we can't get it. It's not like we're trying not to recover. You know, some people just can't get that help, whether it be a certain service or support. Sorry to ramble on, but sometimes you really can't get the help. People with mental illness are psycho, mad and dangerous. Not fair. Not fair. Not really fair, is it? Most people who have, like, a mental illness and struggle with, like, depression and anxiety, they have, like, normal lives. Their feelings negatively affect our day-to-day activities. Like making food. Like, sometimes I don't want to go and eat. Like, I love eating. Going off track. I've worked and I've been admitted to a psychiatric ward. That some people can be violent because of their illness, but most of the time it's because they don't understand what's going on. Some people don't realise the thing, like, unless you start learning about mental health, you don't realise the things that go on in people's head and how frightening it can be to be in a mind frame where you think that people are trying to kill you. Some people have these thoughts that somebody's going to kill them, or somebody wants to harm them, or wants to harm their family. They could be confused, they don't mean it, and they lash out. But it's not always the world being protected from us. Sometimes it's us being protected from ourselves and the world. So to say they're psycho and mad is not. That's not fair. That's such. Again, the stigma. Like, it's just so upsetting. Like, it hurt. I've been called psycho, dangerous. I've been called mad by ex-boyfriends, by friends that I thought were friends. It hurts. That's like real raw, like, something to say to somebody, like, you're psycho. That shit is raw. That shit hurts. Bad. People who have addictions or mental health problems are picking that lifestyle and lack the willpower to get rid of it. That is bullshit. We all have mental health that can move up and down, and just like our physical health. Like, Jesus, it annoys me so much. Like, I've struggled with addiction myself. My depression and anxiety at that time could not be prevented because of the situation that I was in. And so addiction felt like it helped me through that time. Some people have a mental illness and they pick addiction. Some people have an addiction and it leads to a mental illness. Addiction is not an easy habit to kick, and it does not mean that somebody lacks the willpower. Like, I was trying to block out my feelings, block out my world, and the mental illnesses like that can cause addiction. That's how it happened for me. And I can't speak for everybody, but that's from my own perspective and my own view. But it doesn't work, and I got over it. Like, I'm not picking the lifestyle, I got over it. Like, I got out of that. It depends on each certain person. You can't just say that about mental illness. It's not fair. You know, this is the reason why I made this video. I wanted to explain it, like, from my point of view, because I have got a mental illness, and to learn about mental illness is so important. At least then you have, like, the power to kind of, like, or the knowledge to turn around and be like, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're not alone. That's what I want. That's the message I want to get across to people, is that you're not alone. You're not on your own through it. That is my message to you. I hope that somebody out there watching this thinks, oh, I'm not alone, I'm not on my own, like somebody else has got this problem. Click subscribe, motherfucker. click subscribe. And if you've got Twitter, follow me on there. It's abrightercloud. And just see my ranty, weary, tweety tweeters. They are raw, they are real. Thanks, guys.